Get ready to rumble. How's everybody feeling now?
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome, good. So out of the three main reasons that people get stuck in their lives, there's three main reasons. And it's not feeling confidence, not feeling motivation, and not feeling self-love. And out of the three main reasons, which one do you think has the biggest effect? You could just yell it out.
Self-love.
Self-love.
Self-love, yeah.
Self-love. Did somebody not say self-love?
No, I didn't.
What did you say?
I agree. I didn't say anything.
Okay. Okay. I thought someone said something else. I'm like, wrong presentation. So yeah, it's self-love, lack of people not feeling self-love, which blocks them from having success in their dating lives, relationships, and their jobs, not able to lose weight, or just in themselves. So 80% of...
What is this about, please?
I'm sorry?
What's this about, please?
The presentation?
Yeah, but the relationship thing.
What do you mean exactly?
Yeah, I was asking what type of relationship is it?
It can be a relationship with yourself, relationship with friends, or intimate relationship like girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning, the proper thing.
Right. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Perfect. So out of the three things that I've noticed from a psychological and emotional point of view that keeps people stuck, 80% of success is your psychology. That means your mindset, and 20% is the mechanics, which means the strategies. Okay. Now, does your psychology, does it give you everything? Like, as long as you have the right psychology, does that give you everything? Yes or no?
No.
No, okay. You're right, because you also need the mechanics. You can't just think something. You actually have to do something, right? You need the mechanics. But it's your psychology which opens your mind, so you look for the mechanics, and you keep moving forward no matter what. And when something doesn't work, you do something else. When something doesn't work, you do something else. When something doesn't work, you do something else. When something else doesn't work, you do something else. By show of hands, who knows what I mean? Okay, awesome. And I'm sorry, Psyche, did you put me on, I can't see everybody. You put me on a different, either Brendan or Psyche, you put me on a different video. But I can only see myself, but I can't see everybody else.
Oh, yeah, it's because it's because you have a spotlight. So I think there's a way for, if you click on your view, you can say show grid video. But we have you spotlighted so that if other people make sounds, everyone can see you.
Could you take me off the spotlight?
Sure, we can remove it.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay, cool. So out of the three main reasons that I help people with, self-love is the area that I think is the most important, because in the end, we all want to feel self-love. And just yell it out, true or false?
True.
True. Okay, awesome. Good. So we've all heard of those, tips and tricks to love yourself. Like when you Google, how to love myself or how to feel self-love, or you YouTube it, what are some common things that you read and that you see? Anise, would you like to share?
I don't know. I've never Googled that. I have plenty of self-love.
Okay, what are some things you hear?
No, I don't know. I would guess that they would say affirmations. I do those. I think they're okay. I know your opinion of those, but I think they work. They probably say something like, I've seen try hobbies or things that you're interested in, and do something that you like,
okay,
so that you're focused on making yourself happy.
There you go. Okay, so affirmations, hobbies, and making yourself happy. Is that right?
Yes.
And then we have some people in the chat. Someone wrote Christian relationships, Samuel, and then Julia wrote right, and then Julia wrote self-care routine. Like, if you take care of yourself, that means you love yourself. Those are some things, right? What are some other things we've heard about how to love yourself? Just say it out loud.
Fake it till you make it. Just fake confidence until you feel confident.
Fake it till you make it. Okay, right. Anise knows exactly how I feel about that, and I'll get to that in a second. But that's what we hear, right?
Right.
What else do we hear? I feel like Alan wants to say something.
Just take care of yourself. Work out, stay, go to the gym, do the things that you like, and along the way you'll find someone who likes the things you do.
Okay,
If
so
you're looking for them.
so do the things that you like, take care of yourself, and along the way you'll meet other people that share that as well, right?
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else?
Learn from mistakes.
Learn from mistakes, and that was from Vivian, right?
No, Donna.
Donna, I'm sorry, I don't see you anymore. That's why.
Okay.
Where'd you go? Donna, learn from your mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And by learning from your mistakes, like what would the opposite be?
Not learning, doing the same thing over and over again. When you learn, you make some kind of change. You make an error and you make a change to make things
Right.
better.
So you make things better. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we also hear, who's heard "Forgive Yourself" by show of hands?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we definitely heard that. Maddie, we definitely heard that. What are some other ones? Yeah, look in the mirror, as we said, the affirmations, and chant, I'm hot, or like, I'm awesome, or whatever it is. Now, all those things are well-meaning things. And my opinion is they're all bullshit because they don't actually help. And the reason they don't help is because it's surface level and it's your conscious mind, right? So when you say like affirmations like I'm great, that's not self-love. That's something which I'll explain after, like soon, which is the whole part of, which is the whole theme of this presentation. That's like ego. I'm great. Why would you have to say you're great, right? So that stuff, it makes you feel good in the moment. It could, but not long term. Self-care routines, that's good to take care of yourself. But again, it's surface level. It's about going deeper first, and then that stuff comes as well. And Kayla, you said something really good. I remember you said.
Me?
Yeah, Kayla, yeah.
Okay. The fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Oh my God. Okay. No, it's not you. I'm saying whoever gives that advice. that's why people don't feel self-love, because they're trying to fake something. When I'll show you that self-love and love in itself is actually just natural. So again, no, we don't have to fake things. We don't have to chant in the mirror. We don't have to yell. We don't have to do things. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. But that's the things that we do here. So since all these things don't actually work, I figured out a simple and effective thing that you can do to feel self-love forever. And I'll actually tell you right now. And after I say it, if you want to just get up and leave, I totally understand. Want to know what it is?
Yes.
Sure.
Anybody else want to know what it is?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. The secret to feeling self-love forever is to do nothing. Because you don't have to do anything or be anybody. Love is already in all of us naturally. Just as a concept, by show of hands, does that make sense? Okay. And you might say, but I heard we have to do something to earn it. I gotta do something, right? And the answer is no. It's the conditioned patterns, which we've all learned, that we think we have to do something or be a somebody in order to allow ourselves to feel what's natural, which is self-love.
Is about learning to love Jesus Christ.
If that's your belief, then yes. So when people come in, when I do coaching with them one-on-one, I don't actually give them anything. I just help them break the conditioning, which is blocking them from feeling what's natural inside. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. And I like your participation. This is good. Good. So we're going to go through some of the most common patterns that I've found. And as we go through them, think of what patterns you might be running, and as a first step to actually break the pattern. And remember, these are just patterns. They're not who you really are. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
These are just patterns. The same way patterns in business, the same way patterns in, if you work out a certain way, you get certain results. If you eat a certain way, you get certain results. These are just patterns. but they're not who you are. Okay. And remember, these are subconscious patterns, not conscious patterns. And we all know that our subconscious is running the show. So if you think of like our conscious mind just as an image at the forefront, subconscious would be in the back. That's not actually how it works, but just as an image in your head. And our subconscious is running the show. It's over 90% of what we do is based on our subconscious. And Psyche, could you confirm that? What's the exact number?
I don't think that there's a way to actually quantify the exact number, but
Sure.
it is significantly more than we realize day to day. I mean, what we do consciously is certainly very our conscious awareness is a small piece of the entirety of our psychological activity, for sure. Yeah.
There we go. Good. There we go. Thank you. Good. And Psyche, you know this because you're studying
Clinical psychology.
exactly. So everybody knows. Okay, good. So that's why fake it till you make it. Stuff like conscious things don't work because of that. And Kayla, it's nothing against you. I'm glad that you brought that up. Go. And our subconscious, its job is to take us away from pain and bring us towards pleasure. Just two things, away from pain and towards pleasure. And what's the stronger force, pleasure or pain? Just yell it out.
Pleasure.
Pleasure,
Yes.
okay.
Pleasure, yeah.
Okay. Really? Because in my other presentation, everybody said pain.
Well,
So
it's the thing you want. I think it's the strongest pull. I think that's what we were thinking. That it's the thing that would motivate
Right.
you.
Right. That's the strongest pull. Is that what you were thinking as well, Dana?
That's what
Yeah, I was thinking that if you're motivated to do something, then pleasure will just like you motivator, make you want to move forward, want to get that whatever you want to do.
Right. And I believe that's the best way to live. The thing is, the subconscious works to get you away from pain when we're not conscious of our patterns, when we're not deciding for ourselves our lives, and we're just taken over by our conditioning. Our condition's usually based on getting away from pain and maybe getting some pleasure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then obviously when you make a decision, when you're in control of yourself, then I believe it's about experiencing as much pleasure as possible. And there's usually sometimes getting away from pain, but I believe in experiencing as much pleasure as possible. And Razia, nice, welcome. Hi. So I'm here to show you how to have as much freedom and pleasure as possible while getting away from that exhausting pain of running these patterns and acting like somebody you're not. Okay? Go. So as promised, I'm going to show you what I believe is the most common pattern in the world amongst humans and why so many people don't feel self-love. And instead of just telling you, I'm going to show you an image that will explain this pattern and the basis of every other pattern in your life and why you do anything in life, why you do anything in your life, while you're the person that you're dating, that you're going on a date with, why they're doing what they're doing, when you're in a relationship with them, why they're doing what they're doing, anything that we do. I'll show you a chart. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I gotta share my screen here. Hopefully I do it right. Oops. Okay, could everybody see the 6 human needs here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could people still see me as well in this screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So the 6 human needs are specific emotional states that we must and do experience 24/7. Any belief we have, any action we take, any story we tell ourselves, it's because we've associated it to meet one or more of these needs. Okay? And we'll go through them together so we could really understand this. And we'll say it out loud together. The first need is the need for, say it out loud.
Certainty.
Certainty.
Certainty. Very nice, Dana. Certainty. To feel secure, to feel like, my health is in good enough condition. I have food on the table. I have money in the bank. like I'm safe enough, that we have a certain amount of certainty. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. The second need is the opposite need, just to fuck with us. And that's the need for
Variety.
Already.
variety. Good, good. So we need change. We need something different. It could be a new movie or a new book or a conversation or a presentation on how to feel self-love, whatever it is. we need change. We need something new. We need variety, because variety is the spice of
Life.
There we go. Good, good, good. The next need is the need for
Significant.
Significance.
significance. Good. To feel special, to feel needed, to feel wanted, to feel like our life matters, to feel like what we do matters, and it has we have meaning, that our life has meaning, that what we do has meaning. Okay. The next need is the need for
Love, connection.
good, or we could say loving connection.
Love and connection.
Loving connection. Good, good. That's to feel loving, connected within ourselves, and it could be a group setting as well, or nature, or community, or Samuel was saying Jesus Christ, or it could be a religion as well, where you feel connected, loving connection with yourself and with something as a whole, like as a group as well. And the next need is the need for
Growth.
Growth.
growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. And that goes in business, that goes in your body, that goes in relationships. For people that have been in relationships. Okay, by show of hands, who's been in a relationship before? Razia, okay, awesome, good. And you can confirm this for me. If your relationship, even if it's good, but it's just like staying the same, how does it feel? Just make the noise of how that feels.
Dull.
What did you- okay. What about when your relationship is growing and it's growing, it's growing, it's growing? How does make the sound of how that feels?
Yay!
Great.
Good.
And for the introverts in this group, I think you were doing it inside. Right? Okay, awesome. Good. So growth, that's where you feel growth and progress. That's where you feel happy. Let's say you want to get into shape. You buy shoes and you run for 2 minutes and then you run back to your home and you're out of breath, right? And it was only like 4 minutes, but how do you feel the fact that you put on your shoes and just ran back? How does that feel?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Feels good, right?
Mhm.
When maybe you haven't figured out everything in your relationship, but you worked on something, you made a little bit of progress, things are a little bit better in the relationship. How do you feel?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. There you go. Good.
Progressing.
Very
Like
good,
you're progressing, right, Dana?
Yeah.
That's right. Good. And sorry, somebody said something last as well at the end.
Oh, it's me. I said it feels very good when
feels-
things are growing. Yeah.
There you go. And are you talking about relationships or in general?
I guess in general, yeah. I was thinking about my relationship, but yeah, in general.
Okay. Well, this is about relationships and dating, so that's cool. Thank you, Vivian. Cool. And then as we grow, then we can fulfill the next need, which is the need for
Contribution.
contribution, right? So we give beyond ourselves. That could be to our partner. That could be to like our community. That could be having kids. So it's like bigger than ourselves. Okay, so we grow and then we're able to contribute. It could even be when you learn something and then you're able to give. You're able to share and give. Perfect. So the first four we have to meet, and we do meet 24/7. Even if you have to lie to yourself, by the way, even if you have to have split personalities or whatever, you'll find a way to meet the first four, no matter what. The last two you don't have to meet, but when you do at high levels, hopefully in a positive way, that's where you feel fulfilled. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. And Bernadette, I think you just came in.
Yep. Sorry
Okay.
about that. I still had a meeting, but I really wanted to join this. So
That's okay, Bernadette, welcome. And if you want to put on your video chat so it's more interactive, we would love to see you.
okay, I might do that in a bit.
Okay,
I'm a
cool.
bit shy.
That's okay. Okay, awesome, cool. But nice that you're here. Okay, so to really learn this, we're gonna apply it to our own lives. So for example, if there's something that you absolutely love, it's because you've associated it to meet 3 or more of these needs. And apparently, if you meet 3 or more of these needs at high levels, you become, quote unquote, addicted to the behavior, the story, or the belief. Okay. So we'll go through it together. Tell me something you love. Anise, tell me something that you love it.
My baby, my little girl.
Your little girl. Okay,
She's
good.
my world. And I'm telling you, there's all 6 of them. She's hitting all 6.
She's hitting all 6. You're the perfect person. Okay, let's go through that. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much certainty do you feel with your little one?
10.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
How much variety do you feel? Different, change, new things.
11. She
11. That's not a number. Okay, it's 11. Okay, good.
It's beyond. She's very active.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
How much meaning does it give to your life?
I'm telling you, it's right now. Pretty much, I center everything around her.
Okay, very nice.
So, yeah.
Good. Okay, and as people are sharing, look at, and so we could become practical psychologists here. Look at somebody's face, and did by show of hands, who saw the look on her face? Who felt the emotion from her? By show of hands. Right, that's right. And look how smiling, how much she's smiling.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Good, very nice. How much love and connection do you feel?
My goodness, I don't know how many times a day I tell her I love her. I don't know. I can't count it. I don't know.
There you go. How much are you growing with your little one?
I think a lot, because I feel like I'm always learning better parenting strategies. She keeps me on my toes. She said that today. I'm just trying to keep you on your toes, mommy.
How old is she?
9.
9, okay. A little one.
Yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how much growth?
10.
10, okay.
Yeah.
And contribution that you feel like you're giving to her, giving beyond
Yes.
yourself. On a
Yes.
scale from 1 to 10?
10.
10, okay.
Yes.
So correct me if I'm wrong. We got certainty at 10, variety at 10, significance at 10, loving connection at 10, growth at 10, contribution at 10. True or false?
That's all true. My heart is
true.
full. My
Okay.
heart is full.
Okay. She loves this. She's totally addicted in a good way to her daughter,
Yeah.
in the most positive way.
Mhm.
Perfect. Thank you. That was a perfect example. Who else wants to go through this? Dana, Alan, who else? Just start talking. Dana wants to go. Tell me, Dana. What's something that you absolutely that you love?
Working on my hobbies.
Okay. Any specific hobby?
I like to do diamond painting.
Diamond painting. Okay. Did everybody see the smile on her face? Okay. Good. Okay. Good. So that's the thing you love the most, diamond painting?
Yeah, I also like to do Sudokus. It also gives me like a lot of like different ways to like solve problems, so I enjoy it.
Okay. Which one do you love more?
The variety of it. It's different kinds.
No, I mean of the the diamond painting or the Sudoku?
Oh, probably diamond painting.
Diamond painting. Okay, so we'll use that as an example. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. How much on a scale from 1 to 10? How much certainty do you feel with your diamond painting?
I feel like a lot of certainty. I know that they'll always turn out nice because I follow a pattern.
Exactly.
They'll
There you
always
go.
turn out the way that they're supposed to.
There you go. Perfect. On a scale from 1 to 10?
10.
10. Okay. Good. How much variety do you get from the diamond painting?
It's I do different designs, so I get a variety one. Sometimes there might be some similarities, so maybe on a scale of 1 to 10 will be like probably an 8, because they're very different, but at the same time it's the same thing over and over again. But just the fact that that you get to have a nice picture at the end is enough to keep on going, even when it seems like you're doing the same thing over and over again.
That's right. That's right. So at high levels are 8s, 9s, and 10s. So perfect.
Yeah.
How much significant, like how meaningful do you feel that it is?
I feel it's really meaningful, and number one, because I keep them all. Don't want to give them away or anything like that. I keep them very safe in an album, and the big ones I keep it safe in a drawer. So very significant. Maybe like a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10. Perfect.
Yeah.
How much loving connection do you feel with when doing it?
I feel good because I kind of like a kind of a flow state where you kind of do it and then you forget about everything else. And you're kind of in the moment when you're doing them.
That's right, Dana. And on a scale from 1 to 10?
1 to 10, a 10 I'll say.
10. Okay. How much
Yeah.
scale? So what about growth? How much are you growing, progressing with it?
Not really. There isn't really much to grow so much, except that I got like a diamond painting ruler, so that all of the little diamonds, not really diamond, the plastics, they will like all be in a straight line.
Okay.
And so that's like probably like that would be like maybe a 5 or a 6, because there isn't much growth like that you can do other than size. And I have a desk that is not really that big, so I can really like do bigger pictures.
Okay. So about you said 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And what about contribution, where maybe you give it to people or anything like that?
Well, that would be maybe like a 1 or a 2, because I didn't give it to anyone. I'm keeping it all for myself.
All for myself. Nice. Okay, good. Good. So I believe you had certainty, significance, and love and connection at 10s.
Yeah.
And then one of them was an 8. Variety was an 8. There was 3 10s and 1 8, I believe.
Yeah, there was like there was an 8 in variety, because there isn't that much I can do with it. Like either like doing the same thing over and over again, but then it's a different picture all the time. But
Yeah. So you have to only meet. Thank you, Dana. So you're only meeting 3 of those needs at high levels. You love it. Dana's meeting 4 of those needs at high levels. You see why her face changed and she had to smile at the beginning.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, go. So I would love to go through with everybody, but it might get a little bit tedious. So we'll go along, but we'll keep working with this. Anybody have questions with any of them before we go forward? What does this mean? What does that mean? Just start talking. Say it out loud right now. No. Okay. So we all understand it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So we all meet at least the first 4 24/7, no matter what. But we tend to value 2 above the rest. Okay. So you can think in your head right now or write down what you believe your top 2 needs are. Okay. And then, and then we'll come back to in about 20 seconds, and then we'll go through it together. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. So we're going to go through everybody that feels comfortable, and we're going to share our top 2 needs. So I'll just go in order by how it's showing up. Must be, yeah, showing up on my screen. Anise, what do you believe your top 2 needs are?
My top 2 are certainty and love and connection.
Okay, in that order?
No, probably love and connection 1, and then certainty 2.
Love and connection 1 and certainty 2. Okay, that sounds right. Yes. Okay. Oh, Sarah's coming. Okay, good. So as we're talking, when somebody says something, you could hear if there's stress in their voice, like a little bit tightness, then you know it's not right. And we heard it right there when you said certainty first. But you're saying your real one is love and connection first, right?
Yes, I was looking at the list, but right.
Oh, I see,
My number 1 is love and connection. The number 2 is certainty.
Number 2 is certainty. Good. And then,
yes.
Perfect. And then we have Sarah just came in. Welcome, Sarah. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
You guys hear my audio? Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
And even for yourself, as we're going through it, if you feel like a little bit uneasy when you're saying one of them, it might mean because that's not your actual top 2 needs. Just in general, okay? Razia, would you like to share what you believe your top 2 needs are?
Significance and love and connection.
Okay. Makes sense. The thing is they're opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Significance and love and connection are opposites. So what do you think your top 2 needs
Could you
are,
explain that a little bit more? Like, I'm not sure I understand how significance and love and connection are opposites.
Sure, great question, Bernadette. So significance is when you feel like you're special, needed, wanted, like what you do has meaning, your life has meaning. For example, it's a great question. In a relationship, you feel like you matter in a relationship. You feel significance. love and connection, you don't really care about being the best or being special or being needed, wanted. You love everything. You feel the love within yourself, and you feel connected with yourself, and loving connection with your community as well. It's not about this community is better or worse. You just feel the love with it. Does that explain it, Bernadette?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
that
thank
gives
you.
a little bit more clarity for me. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you know what? There's a reason you said that. You asked the question, and I'll get to that after, because most people do tie it in together.
Yeah, because the reason why that question came up for me was because generally speaking, in my relationships, which I consider to be like loving relationships, I will tend to think, oh, I want to feel like I matter to this person.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's what I was thinking too.
that's what you were thinking as well. Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
So great. So we all need to matter. We all need to feel significant. They're not bad. All these are great. We all need to feel like we matter. It depends which one you put first in your relationship. Significance or love and connection. That's the question. And we will get to that. We will definitely get to that soon. So Razia, would you still like to say significance and love and connection as your top two?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And
I'd
then
say
we'll go.
so.
Sorry?
Yeah, I would still say those two.
Perfect. Okay. And we'll definitely get to that. Awesome. Thank you.
You know, I was thinking,
Yeah.
is it possible that we're answering based on what we think, what we're feeling right now, because of maybe something we're dealing with right now?
Yep. And I'll get
For sure.
right. Good question. I'll get to that as well. That's a good question. That's good. That's good. I'll definitely get to that. And we have, I think, Kayla or Nana. Would you like to share?
For me, it's probably variety and growth.
Variety first and then growth.
Yeah, because I need to do different things in my day in order to enjoy like the day. Can be always doing just the same thing over and over again, and then growth because it's about like getting better at whatever I do. Like if I made a mistake in day one, I'll do better next time and not want to make a mistake in day two. So
Okay. So I'm gonna say variety sounds right. Growth, I'm not sure about.
okay,
I think you're using growth for something else, and I'll get to that.
maybe.
Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. Because I could hear there's a difference in your voice,
Yeah.
and which is good. So we know, right, for ourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes we use different needs, like we use, for example, growth, and you might be right for you, but sometimes we use, for example, growth in order to meet a different need, like significance. Because
Yeah,
if we feel like, right, because if we feel like we're growing and getting better and better, then we'll somehow be special. We'll somehow be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There you go. There you go. And how did I know that? I don't know, Dana, but these are patterns. These are common patterns, right?
Okay.
It's not who Dana really is. These are just patterns. Very good. Thank you, Dana. Bernadette, would you like to share your top two?
Actually, I'm not quite sure about this. Like between, I feel like I want all of them.
Okay.
It's like,
We all do.
I look at this and I was like, they all sound pretty good, actually.
Right. They do. What do you really feel are your top two? The ones you like, I have to have this and that.
I think the ones that immediately jumped out at me were like variety and significance.
Okay.
But at the same time, I feel like my day-to-day life tends to be pretty regular. So it's like when I speak about variety, it's more so things like in the context, it tends to happen in the context of a regular thing. For example, I like to go for a walk every morning, and then I enjoy seeing like the variety of flowers and the variety of sceneries.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's context specific, you're saying.
Yeah. That makes it so that I'm like, I'm not sure whether, it's like in that instance, I enjoy the variety of this specific things, but it seems to be very limited. And when I notice and I take a look at like the overall day, then I go like, well, my day tends to be pretty much like pretty regular,
Right. Okay. So what it sounds a little bit like here is there's a little bit of difference between your real top two needs and how you're living your life. True or false?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, good. And that's why there's confusion there. and we will definitely get to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Bernadette. Okay. Kayla, do you feel comfortable sharing your top two?
Sure. My top two are love and connection and certainty. I think the same as somebody else.
In that order?
Yeah, love and connection and certainty.
Very nice. Okay. Very nice. Good. And then Nana, would you like to share? Or you're with your kid, or maybe okay. Alan, what do you think your top two are?
I think they're going to be love and connection and certainty. At first, I thought certainty would be first, but then I look at it that no, love and connection is very important because it doesn't have to be pure romantic love, but it can be a love of the work or whatever it is.
Yes, yes. Has love and connection always been first for you?
I think so. I think when I grew up, I had a kind of a loving family, but very very demanding family as well.
Okay,
but certainty was a factor that I felt was very important. That I had to be certain that things would work out the way I wanted them to.
Makes sense. But you're saying you've always lived out of a loving connection?
Yes, yeah. I've done a lot of mistakes, probably for just because of love and connection that have been positive.
We can all relate to that. I get it. You get it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So thank you, Alan.
Let me answer. It's Nana. Sorry, I was just doing something I couldn't answer.
Tell me, Nana.
All right, for me, the one that stands out most is growth. I feel when it comes to relationships, there's love, but you both should be helping each other grow, emotionally, spiritually, financially, or whatever, right? So you can have two partners like that. This is a thing that I've been through a lot, right? Where, no, I shouldn't say a lot, a few times, where I'm a person, I'm very optimistic with life, right? And I need a partner who's the same. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. They don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur as well, but they have to be passionate about something. So therefore, I can put my love into them to help them grow as they're doing for me, right? So that's the thing that stands out for me most, is growth in a relationship.
Okay, and I'm actually going to bounce it back to you. Is it growth, or is it loving connection you're actually experiencing?
Love and connection is a part of it, but it's growth, right? Because if in my experience, if you're with somebody, and so first of all, you have to know yourself, right? I know myself. Right. So I know I'm a person who I'm always going to try something. Anybody who knows me, if I have an idea, I have a thought, if the universe gives me something, I'll execute it. Right. And like the partner I'm with right now, when I have an idea, she supports me in that. Right. Where what can I do to help you? What can I do to help him achieve this goal? And I want to do the same for that person. And in turn, when we're doing that for each other, it's also building the love for each other. Does that make sense?
Yes. So is it growth and contribution for you?
I guess, you know what? I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you think your top two are growth and contribution?
Yeah. I was thinking growth, but it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Okay, cool. Thank you. That was good, Nana. Good. And Mehdi, what do you think your top two are?
Well, I wrote connection and variety.
Okay.
I need connection in this new chapter of my life because I want to feel better with friends and more, meaningful connections and people around me. And then I need variety in that. I think I really need to spice up my life and do more of the things that I know I like and then I haven't been doing for a while.
Right. And let me ask you, why do you say connection but not love and connection?
Love and connection? Well, I have been trying love. So I would say connection, like a circle of friends, to be very specific. Right.
Okay. So there's a reason why he said connection and not loving connection. Right. And this is and I'm teasing you a little bit just so we learn about ourselves. So even when we hear something coming out of our mouths, we go, why did I say that? And then we delve deeper into it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But thank you. And I totally get what you're saying. I get it. Awesome. And Vivian, what do you think your top two needs are? Vivian?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's certainty and love and connection. Um, and that is because I think certainty is really important in different like situations or aspects of life. Like it's important to just be certain about things, right? Because if we're not certain, then that means they could, we could lose those things at any moment. So I think that's important. Um, and love and connection for sure. I would say my number one, because I've always just been the kind of person that, has a lot of love to give and likes to receive love and feel connected to others, and have those meaningful sentimental connections as well.
For sure. Okay. So can I use you as an example right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So she said certainty first and love and connection second. By show of hands, who thinks certainty is actually her first one? Her top need. Okay. No one's raising their hand. Right? Who thinks love and connection is actually her top need? By show of hands. That's right. That's right. That's right. Good. And thank you for sharing that. So Vivian, does that make sense? Do you feel that as well?
Yeah. I mean, I said love and connection for. I mean,
You said a second.
Yeah. But I mean, that was my that probably is my number one, though. I think
it is
love and and then certainty is number two. But yeah, I still think the others are pretty important. But I would go with those two.
Okay, so love and connection first, right?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So this is how we're learning, and this is really good that some of us caught that as well. Now you catch that in yourself as well, but there's a reason why she put certainty first. Okay, and we'll get to that after we go through this. Julia, do you feel comfortable sharing your top two, or maybe you're busy with kids right now? Julia is probably busy. That's fine. Brennan, do you feel comfortable sharing?
Yes, I do. I guess I can share. I'm certainty and significance.
Certainty first and then significance?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, good. And Psyche, what are your top two needs?
I've been pondering this the entire time. I messaged Brennan because I was saying, so when I was first thinking about it, I was kind of torn between, well, not torn between, but I was thinking significance, love and connection, and growth. But then Brennan said, Brennan knows me very well. He said certainty would be your top one. And I was like, you know what? That's probably true. And in terms of the others, I think that I have pursued significance and growth in my life, but I think that it was ultimately at the core what I was pursuing was love and connection. Although I will say, I will say that the distinction between significance and love and connection is not very, it feels like they're very similar things, kind of to what Bernadette was saying, at least in the way that I experienced them, perhaps. But I think ultimately at the core, I was pursuing love and connection. Yeah,
that's right. So do you think personally, that's awesome that you like open and honest about that, and that's so cool and shared that. Do you feel like certainty is first or love and connection is first?
I'm honestly probably certainty, but I'm honestly not sure. I'm honestly not sure because I keep on going back and forth.
Okay, good.
It's not very certain.
That's right. That's
no, I'm not. I'm very hesitant.
I couldn't resist. Well, I'm sorry.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
I was thinking the same thing too. I was like, I'm actually giving extremely non-committal responses to this question.
So now we're learning something, aren't we? Good. Thank you, Psyche. And Gina, what do you think your top two are? Gina? Are you
Hi,
able to...
I'm on
Hi.
mute. I was on mute. Yeah, the growth and certainty.
Growth and uncertainty?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Perfect. Weird. So back to... Okay, cool. So whatever we said, so I asked this question to every client of mine, and they tell me what they think their top two needs are. And here's the thing, they tell me what their operating needs are, how they currently act, that are not always in line with their real top two needs. Okay. For example, some people said certainty in their top two, and it might actually be certainty in their top two. It might be, or it might be variety. It might be variety, and then something happened at some point in their life, and they got really scared, and they said, okay, no, I have to just be certain now. I have to color between the lines, keep everything safe and certain. And they live the rest of their life certain after that, even if that's not in their top two. Okay. Now, if somebody values certainty first, above all else in life in general, and especially in relationships, what kind of relationship would they have? Just yell it out.
Boring.
Boring. That's right. Any other words that come to mind when something is just, when you're with somebody that always just colors in between the lines all the time and wears, socks over their PJs to bed, and everything is just certain. The woman in this group, how do you feel with a guy like that? Right. That's the right noise. Okay. And for the guys in this group, how do you feel when a girl is just, everything has to be so organized, so in order, her hair is always just totally up and tied back, and she has to be always really, closed up? How do you feel, guys, with a woman like that?
Meh.
Meh. Okay. So all the guys here are smart. They don't want to say the wrong thing. I get it. I get it. Okay. So it's not a judgmental thing. It's I don't think you don't have to value certainty if that's not who you really are. You know what I mean? If variety is who you really are, you could have fun if that's who you really are. And again, a lot of us, we do things, and a lot of things don't work the first time. And we have our parents saying, go for a real job, or go for somebody safe, or do something safe. But then we're bored out of our minds, and then the relationship doesn't even work out. How safe is that? Right? And within ourselves, if we value certainty so much, what happens when you go on a date and the person's, they're opening up and there's an opportunity to open up, but you're playing it so safe? What happens, either by your experience or maybe a friend's experience? What happens when the person plays it so safe on a date and in relationships? Just say it out loud.
No communication.
No communication is one, yes. They're always trying to keep things safe and not rock the boat. And communication is one of the biggest things in a relationship. True or false? Yell it out. True or false?
True.
True, okay.
True.
Good. What else happens when somebody's trying to play it so safe in dating or a relationship? Anybody else?
You don't get your needs met.
You don't get your needs met. That's right. And someone might be thinking, oh, he's just thinking about, they're not giving me my needs. No, you can't even give them their needs, because they might not be expressing their needs. They might not be communicating their needs. They might not be receiving their needs, because sometimes receiving needs or receiving feelings, it causes them to feel too vulnerable, and they can sabotage their relationship. Right? This is a common thing where people are avoidant in relationships or in dating. They're trying to be so safe because they don't want to lose the person. So they're trying to play it safe. So for everybody here, if certainty is in your top two, great. The question to ask yourself is, if it actually is in your top two, does certainty mean to always play it so safe? Or does certainty mean to be secure in yourself and connect with people who are secure? which gives you a higher percentage of certainty in life. The second question is certainty really in your top two? Or is it variety or growth? Now, what happens if we value variety in a relationship? Make the sound, especially at the beginning of a relationship, when there's so much variety, when there's so much variety and fun and this and that, and you end up making out in places you didn't even think you would, right? Not to mention other activities. Oh my God, right? But we don't do that. We're proper people. Make the sound of the beginning of the relationship when it feels fun and variety and things are changing and different. You don't know what to expect. Make the sound.
Yay!
Yay! Okay. And in fact, variety is what creates attraction. Certainty is what creates comfortability. Variety is what creates attraction. It's like when you first see that, that guy across the room and he's doing his thing and you're like, oh, or that woman, you're like, wow, right? Because you don't know them. There's that variety, there's that uncertainty, there's that mystery, right?
Right.
And for women, who make the sound of a guy where there's mystery. Make the sound.
Ooh.
Ooh. And the smiles all around. Or for the guys who want to get to know that girl over there, make the sound. Yeah, okay, good. We're so expressive, us guys, but we're feeling it. It's like, whoa, ooh, kind of thing. Perfect. Now I'm gonna tell you the most common pattern in the world, and this is what a couple of us have brought up already. People try to be significant because what they really want is loving connection.
Mm-hmm.
We try to be, smart enough, good looking enough, funny enough, the best coach enough, whatever it is, because what we really want is loving connection. Because our biggest fear is that we're not enough and we won't be loved.
Right.
And that connection, especially as children, is almost like a survival thing. There's a thing called failure to thrive syndrome, I think it's called failure to thrive, that even if you get food as a baby, as a kid, even if you're fed like with food, but you don't get the love and connection, you, in the best case scenario, the most likely best case scenario is you grow up as angry adults, as one of my clients say, or you actually have developmental challenges, like physical developmental challenges. And psyche, this is more your field. Could you confirm this?
I mean, yeah, I can certainly attest to the fact that there are a lot of very severe issues with, I mean, like one of the examples is that people can develop very disordered, insecure attachment styles if they don't have the opportunity early in life to form a kind of, basically a loving attachment with their caregiver, so their parent or whoever is taking care of them. And so that causes pretty significant issues in human bonding, such that if the kind of trauma of that isn't dealt with as adults, that person might end up kind of inadvertently perpetuating a similar negative environment in their own families, and then you can kind of have generational trauma. So it can be pretty devastating at times.
That's right. Thank you. And what psyche is also referring to is called attachment styles. How we love and how we receive love. So if you want to Google after attachment styles, find out what yours is. You can even message me. I'll send you the test. If you can find out which pattern you're currently running. Okay. So a couple of us said, I feel like significance and love and connection is so close. I feel like it's the same thing, and it's this. This is why, because we've associated or connected significance being special, needed, wanted, being somehow special and unique in some way with loving connection.
Isn't significance kind of like acknowledgement?
So you're absolutely right. It's acknowledgement. And I think you said it before. It's about feeling like you matter in a relationship. You said that, right?
I think somebody else said that.
Okay, somebody else said that. Like you matter in a relationship. So that is an important need. Of course, you need that. It's a need, so we need it. The question is, which one do you put first? Significance or loving connection? If someone puts significance first, I need to feel special. I need to feel special. Tell me I feel special. I don't feel special enough. I don't feel like I matter enough. If they put that first in the relationship, or they're always measuring, like I'm doing more, or I'm somehow better, or they're somehow worse, or maybe they're better and I'm worse, as some of us do. If someone values significance above love and connection, by your personal experience, not just me telling you, by your personal experience, what happens for yourself and the relationship? Who wants to share? Somebody wants to. Anise, do you want to share?
Oh, I wasn't talking.
No, would you like?
Oh, what do I think might happen?
Yeah. No, what do you think happens when somebody values significance first in a relationship? I'm better, they're worse, or they're
I
better.
have an idea. Like, I feel like it eventually falls apart because you're just like very much focused on like, this is how I'm better, this is how I'm better, you know? And then the other person, if they value like love and connection, they're trying to be like, I want to feel close to you. You know, it's like us. And then significance is kind of like, I'm pulling away to differentiate myself.
Yes. Yes, that's right.
You might become selfish if you're focused on how important you are, or comparing yourself to someone else. It kind of isolates you.
It isolates you. That's right. So firstly, Bernadette, what you described right there, it sounds like it's what we talked about, attachment styles. One is anxious. We need connection. We need connection. The other one is like, no, I need distance. I need like an avoidance attachment style. I need distance. Don't get too close. So that's what we're talking about. That's what I just said about attachment styles. And Anise, you said they become selfish. For the woman in here, who's dated a selfish guy? Raise their hands.
Yeah.
Right. And then we get those all guys are assholes kind of thing. Right. And I thought they were cool, and I felt significant being with that guy because he seemed so confident and so this and so that. And then he was just a selfish asshole. And I swear off guys now. Right? Who's experienced or who's heard this? Woman, who's experienced or who's heard this? By raise your hands, by show of hands. Yeah. An honest person. There you go. Thank you. So,
Sorry. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, they could be a quiet person and then they turn out to be a total person you completely did not expect, right? So.
Right. So sometimes we don't see things in the beginning. Totally get that. Afterwards, if they become assholes, sometimes it's because they're fighting for significance. Or the woman's fighting for significance sometimes too. Okay, why don't you notice me? You should notice me. And the guy's like, I'm right here, I'm noticing you, but why don't you notice me? You never notice me. The guy never notices me. And it's like, that might be what's happening, or it might not be what's happening. It might be that the woman is feeling so insignificant because she values significance so highly. It might be that the guy feels so insignificant because he's valuing significance so highly. And when a guy is valuing, or when anybody values significance and they feel like they're not getting it, and then they pull away, woman, how does that feel when the guy pulls away? Good or bad?
Confusing. It's bad. It feels confusing.
And confusing. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Did I do something? Totally get there. Okay. So whenever somebody says significance is in their top two, I don't think it's ever true. I've never seen, and I'm just telling you straight up, I've never seen somebody whose real top two needs have significance over love and connection. Because we only want to be significant because what we only put that first because what we really want is love and connection.
Is it kind of like, is it the logic where it's like significance? It's like the reason I'm trying to understand why it's like love and connection would be like above significance for most people. Is it the sense of like, if I am significant, this can somehow guarantee my connection, like that type of fallacy?
Yes, fallacy. That's right.
And more like if you are, if there is love and connection, you do feel significance.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I was just thinking about something too, with how I think that there are some people who have the experience where, like, if you have a child who grew up very like highly gifted or very advanced, and they always were given attention, but primarily for their accomplishments, you know, that child grows up and it's like the love is conditional basically upon their success or achievement or something like that. And maybe they learn that they essentially have to be the best in order to gain love and connection. Yeah.
That's right.
I think something can happen with people. Yeah.
That's right. And thank you for jumping ahead.
Sorry.
You know my presentation. Why'd you say that?
I apologize. I actually
I'm joking,
genuinely didn't mean it.
No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. That's right. And we're gonna get to that.
I do have a question. Like, so how do you know which ones are your top 2 then?
What feels natural. And I feel like the best way, honestly, is when I work together with somebody, but what feels natural. Like, for example, if somebody said certainty was first, and the way they said it, there was like a restriction in their throat. Like when you're connected with yourself, you could feel what's right and what's right for you and what's not right for you.
Just like the functions, you want to peacock your lower ones. Just like, and it seems like this is a very similar concept to, oh, well, I want to be seen as a guy that's very overly certain, overly organized. But in all reality, I'm in the priority, and I continuously take in new experiences, but I aspire to that certainty. It seems like the functions and this system have a lot of overlap in that way, but for those who know typology, I know like a lot of these people have come from the MBTI groups. That's a good way of putting it. But anyway, sorry for interrupting.
No problem. Yeah. So it's about getting back to what's natural, and then you feel what's natural. And Bernadette, as we go through this presentation, keep asking questions so we could help you figure it out. Is that cool?
Yep.
Cool. And Psyche, are we cool?
We are cool.
Okay. Good. I think that was it. So let me go share screen. Okay, so we're not sharing screen anymore, right?
Right.
Okay, good. So let me just go through. Yeah, so some of us were valuing certainty first because we're playing the good girl or the good boy. And I'm saying fuck that because that's not who you really are. Okay. So if you're playing the good girl all the time, it's not hard to figure out why you may keep taken advantage of in relationships. Just saying it directly. And you don't have to play the good girl because that's not you. You might be a good person, but you don't have to play the good girl or the good guy if that's not who you really are. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down notes, but okay, cool. So when you see somebody trying to be so significant all the time, so special and needed and this and that, what's really happening is that they're dying for loving connection. Okay. And we sometimes think of those people, flashing their bling bling or flashing other things in order to get significance, right? Mm-hmm. Don't laugh. And we see this at all ages as well, right? Try to get significance, and we think that those are the ego whores or whatever. But trying to be significant actually comes out in a few other different ways. And we're going to go through the 3 most common ways that I found with people of how they try to be significant in order to get love and connection. And as we're going through it, you could ask yourself, am I running this pattern? Do I know someone who's running this pattern? Or have I seen somebody who's run this pattern? Because this is not just about talking. This presentation is not just information. It's about actually you starting to make the first steps on breaking the pattern so you feel self-love. Okay? Okay, go. So common pattern number 1, the helper. So some of us are natural helpers, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Who here thinks they're a helper by show of hands?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I used to be.
Yeah. Used to be. Okay. Now are you like, you know what? I'm not helping people unless they help me, or fuck them.
Only if they ask and nicely.
Say it again.
Only if they ask and nicely.
Or else, right? Or else what happens?
Well, heck no. I have my own stuff to do.
I got my own stuff too. Yeah, that's right. Okay. But you're saying naturally you're a helper?
No, I mean, I was socially conditioned as the eldest kid, right? And it took me a while to like hold my ground and say, no, I don't want to do it. You have 3 other kids, get them to do it.
Right. The oldest child always gets that responsibility. I know. I know. So some of us are natural helpers. We love helping other people, which is beautiful. The problem comes in when it's the exaggerated helper pattern. When we put everybody first and ourselves last. When we make sure everybody has their cake first, but we have our cake too, and usually in private, and usually a lot of it. And what I mean by that is sometimes helpers, they're giving so much of themselves, they're putting everybody else first and themselves last, that they use food to then, or certain food, to then connect with themselves. Because when they don't feel themselves, because they're always giving away themselves, and they eat, at least they're feeling something in their stomach. At least they're feeling some kind of connection. If they're using it to meet their needs. Or it gives them variety as well because it changes their state, especially if it's sugary foods, maybe fatty foods as well. So it changes your state. Razi, I think you said something.
Yeah, been there.
Been there, yeah. And who's been there or who's done that or something similar by show of hands?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, we all have, right?
Every time. And it's also the way it's in your mouth, the way it feels in your mouth when you're chewing. I mean, not just getting full, but the taste and the texture. It's like you become everything about it is the thing. Everything. It was like one day I remember at work, if I can tell a quick story, and someone brought a birthday cake in and I avoided it. I passed that cake several times. And then midday, someone got fired and it upset me and I fell into that cake. I got a hunk and not a slice because it just was, I was so upset. And I was like, I passed that thing all day with no problem. And then at the minute I get upset and I'm at work and I have to keep it together, I had to have it.
That's right. That's right. It's right. And I just had to make sense because we're using certain food, like in this case, to meet our needs. Mm-hmm. So I think Alan, it looks like you want to say something.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's happened to me.
There we go. Okay. So that's why 80% of any success in life is psychological. And it's not about disciplining yourself when it comes to weight loss or being in shape. It's not about disciplining yourself. It's not about motivation or pump up. That's bullshit. It's your psychology. And what I mean by that is if you use certain food to meet your needs, it doesn't matter what diet you go on, how many personal trainers you have, you will always go back to those foods because they're meeting your needs, not wants, your needs. And your willpower can only go so far. Right, Kayla?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm saying right because I saw you like agreeing with that, right? So when I work with somebody, it's about breaking that conditioning, showing them how they can meet their needs and natural, easy ways. So they don't always have to turn to if it's food or video games or whatever else. Okay. So I notice a lot of women run this helper pattern, and the exaggerated helper pattern of putting everybody first and themselves last. They tend to put work first. They tend to put the other person in a relationship first, and put themselves last. And then they say maybe after a breakup, a divorce, or after a certain age, they go, "Screw this! I'm putting myself first now. I'm doing things for myself." I'm like, what were you doing before? Right? Because we think putting ourselves first, that's selfish. That's the most selfless thing you could do. Because I believe when you put yourself first, in the sense when you feel yourself, when you're completely yourself, you feel whole, you feel strong, you feel natural, you feel good, you feel expressive, and you're able to help people more. Yell it out, true or false?
True.
True. That's right.
It's like that airplane analogy where, you know, you put the mask on yourself first before you help others out.
I was
That's
just
right.
thinking about that.
Right. So for everybody, do you want to share that, Razia?
Oh, it's that analogy where you put the mask on yourself first when you're in an airplane, and then help others out put their mask on.
Right. Okay. So like if the plane's going to crash and they say, put your mask on, and you have your kid beside you, most parents would be like, oh my God, put on my kid first. But you got to put on yourself first, because if you pass out, you can't even help your kid. When you put the mask on yourself, then you can help your kid better and more and longer term as well. And so now, the past so many years, we have this new culture of boss babes of I'm putting myself first, and I'm the best, and I'm significant, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm in control. And it's all about me, 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 me. And they try to be like men now, the bad side of men. Be as stupid as a man, right? Me, 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 I'm the best. And this new culture, I'm the best, boss babe, you're unique, you're the best, whatever. And sleep with multiple guys as well. And I know this is controversial, and I've had people leave my Instagram because of it, but I'm going to say it. Especially Gen Zs, it's like, okay, for a woman, if they're like a man and they sleep with multiple partners, that's where they feel in control. That's where they feel in control. But it's not. I've never met a woman who was connected with herself that was happy doing that. They might exist, I don't know, but I've never seen that happening, because that it's so against anybody's nature, not just women's nature. Even for men, I talk about this as well. If they sleep with multiple people, again, like multiple women, it might seem cool at first, but you lose something. You cheapen yourself. So women trying to be like men is not, or the toxic man, or bad side of men is not the way to go either, in my humble opinion. So for both men and women that run this exaggerated helper pattern, they believe if they put everybody first and themselves last in such a significant way, people can't help but love them. People will not abandon them. And I think somebody said that here actually as well. And somebody's smiling as well as I'm saying this. By show of hands, who knows what I mean?
Can you repeat that?
Sure. The exaggerated helper pattern is if I put everybody first and myself last in such a significant way, you're not going to leave me.
Oh, that doesn't work though.
That's crock. Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't work.
What do you mean, Anise?
It doesn't. I saw this somewhere. It said givers have to have boundaries because takers don't have any. So if you're always giving, it's not that they won't leave you. It's more like they'll do the kind of things thinking you won't ever leave them. You'll still be sitting right there waiting for them to come back to you so that you'll continue to do all these great things.
Yeah, like a puppy. That's right.
Yeah, you'll never be fulfilled with that. And yes, I'm speaking from experience.
No, I get it. And I think we've all done this as well. Okay, so yeah. But thank you for having the confidence to share that, as most of us have experienced that. Get that. Yeah. I went blank a little bit. Shoot. Yeah, so that's what we think, and then that's when we get to a certain age and we go, I'm putting myself first. But you could, if you give, it's because it's coming from you and you want to give, not because you're trying to get something. And when you're trying to get something, that's a trade. And what do you call somebody who gives, sorry, who pay, or no, you do a service for them for money? You do a service on the street for them for money. What is that called?
A prostitute.
A prostitute. Okay. And I'm saying that just to jog you a little bit, but none of us are like that naturally. So we don't have to do this whore thing, this whore trade. And sorry, Psyche, if I'm using some strong words here. Okay, go. So by show of hands, who's is currently running or knows somebody who runs this exaggerated helper pattern? Okay. And here's the question. Does it actually give you the loving connection that you want?
No.
Has it maybe helped you when you were little to be the good boy or good girl? But now, is it helping or hurting you?
Hurting.
Hurting. There you go. Even if people think, oh, you're such a nice person, does it make you feel any better at this point?
No.
No.
How exhausting has it been all these years to play this role that's not even you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And the question is, do you still need to run this exaggerated pattern now? Or can you just be yourself? Can you help people because that's who you are, while still loving yourself and having boundaries?
Definitely.
Definitely. Yes. There you go. Very nice.
Somebody mentioned healthy boundaries, right?
Who's saying that? Raja? Yes.
Yeah.
Healthy boundaries. Somebody wrote to me today, and I'll leave the name anonymous. They said, something like, I always date people who, after some time, they put cameras, I think, in the house. They check my phone and stuff like that. Like, how do I find secure guys? And I believe when you're giving yourself away and you're not connected with yourself, you don't pick up on the red flags, or you see it but you don't see it. You know what I mean? Because you try to ignore it because, no, I need that person, because you're not feeling yourself. That's why feeling secure in yourself is so important. Perfect. So
Yes, because it's like if you're giving away that service, I don't feel like you get respect for that because you're giving it away too easily.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And this goes for men and women as well. So some women, and let's just call it out, they have sex on the first date because they think, okay, well, I didn't want the guy the guy would be mad if I didn't. Or the guy, they pay for everything and they, shower them and do all this stuff and be like their little puppy dog because they're thinking if I just keep giving them. But woman, how do you feel when a guy is being a puppy dog? Make the sound of a guy who's giving you everything and you don't respect. Make the sound of a guy that's, right? So women don't like that, and that's not who you naturally are as either men. And for women, a secure man likes a secure woman as well. So you made a really good point, Bernadette. Right.
Yeah, I think like if that happened, it would kind of feel like, wait a minute, this is something feels off. Like this is not how relationships develop. It's like we get to know one another at a certain like pace, and then it's like, wait a minute, why is there all of this up front? It's like, what's going on here? That's what would make me think.
That's right. Absolutely right. Thank you for sharing. That's good. So maybe, just maybe, we're starting to wonder, do we even need to run this exaggerated helper pattern anymore? Or can we just be ourselves?
No.
No, we can't be ourselves?
It's so disappointing to people. They just can't believe it.
Are those the right
coming
people?
Back for more and more. Can you help me? Can you help me? Will you do this for me? And even when you say no, they still come back and more. And then they just can't let go of that idea that you're going to fix it for them. You're going to do it for them.
Right. So that's the choices we have to keep those people in our lives or not. But firstly, it's how do we present ourselves? How do we act? And it doesn't mean being a bitch or being an asshole. It means I give because I want to give and I'm happy to give. When it's on my turn, like when I'm happy to give. I'm not doing a trade here. I'm not hoping for something here. I'm giving because I love, not because I need something. And because in a relationship, you also need interdependency as well. You help each other.
Anyway, I have to go now. So
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
Great session. Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon. Okay, go. The next pattern. I'm a black belt karate master. I got the best grades. I own 3 successful businesses. I have the most expensive car. I got the best clothes. And all my kids are U of T and Harvard graduates working as doctors, lawyers, and accountants. Sound familiar?
Nouveau riche.
Sorry?
I have some aunts and uncles like that. Oh,
You have some aunts and uncles like that. There you go. There you go. It's
like
the
basically you lose
achiever.
everything.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. It's the achiever, the forever performer, the
yeah.
one that thinks, just as Psyche said before, the one that thinks they have to earn their worth by achieving, by accomplishing, because they only got attention, and they only got taken care of, only got attention when they were little, when they achieved. Oh, John, you got good grades, or oh, you're so pretty, Susie, or whatever it is. Is that true, Psyche?
Very true.
There we go. There you go. And a lot of us are raised like that. So that's the achiever personality. So as little kids, we're dependent on our parents. So we have to adapt however way to get attention, which could be linked to survival as kids. It's not a choice, it's like a survival thing. So a lot of us grow up as achievers. Now, are people who love to achieve and get to next level, next level, next level, next level, next level, is that a really cool thing to be? Yell it out, yes or no?
No, because you're not enjoying the present a lot of the time. You're always looking for the next thing, the next thing.
Okay, okay. And how do you sorry, go ahead.
Stopping and smelling the roses or enjoying the moment, the present time.
Okay, and how do you know this, Dana?
Well, because I know that always running after things that you don't have, or in your possession, takes away from the actual moment. And actually staying, smelling the roses, enjoying the present moment. The present is called the gift, so like time to enjoy it, the here and now, because the future is not guaranteed. So
That's right. That's right. Right. That's right. And my question was actually, is it cool to achieve things if you're doing better in your job or relationships or your body, that you're going to the next level and you're achieving things? Is that
yeah,
cool?
I think it's good to achieve things, but maybe it should be the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time be present and enjoy the moment, and 20% of the time work towards
Right. Right. And I'll say it a different way as well. Achieving is awesome. It's the having to achieve and always thinking next. I gotta achieve, and never actually enjoying it. That's where you feel the pain, having to achieve. And you still don't feel like enough. Okay.
Right.
I think it's also the process.
Dana, sorry.
I think it's also about enjoying the process of achieving something, not just the end product. Like it's all the actual process of you learning something or the actual like solving something. It's the process, and then it's about enjoying the. Somebody else said enjoying the journey, but not not so much the destination. More focus on the journey, and then focus on the destination. Enjoy like the getting there.
Right. So what you just said, Dana, which is really nice, is if you think, hey, just accomplishment, because I got to feel better, that's significance. If you're enjoying it, that's loving connection.
Yeah.
And passion.
Yeah, if you're enjoying the process. Yeah.
Growth. Right. And growth. That's right. So that's what I show people. It's about you're passionate about what you do. And then you could also feel significant by doing it. You could also experience growth. You could also experience variety and certainty. It's the juice is when you love what you do, when you're passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
And the rest, I believe, follows. Right? Razia, where'd you go? Okay. So if in a relationship, you're always trying to achieve and next without even being present, you tell me what happens in that relationship. By your experience. Kayla, do you want to share?
Okay, what was the question again?
Sorry?
What was the question again?
What happens in a relationship when you or the other person is always just thinking about achieving, next level, and they're not actually present or actually loving and passionate in their presence?
You just kind of get bored with the relationship, I think.
Right. Because you're not feeling what you need.
Connection.
That's right. Loving connection. Yeah. That's right.
I was thinking of it differently. I was thinking that if they were next level in the relationship, that you feel kind of pressured and rushed if they're pushing for some level of achievement. I guess I was just thinking within the relationship itself, that if I'm not there, I feel pressured and rushed. Like I don't want to talk about marriage and living together and all that, you know, after 2 months. To me, that's just very early.
Yes, yes, yes. And that could be like, I just want to get to the next level and achieve and achieve and achieve without actually being loving and passionate within the experience with men counselor.
Right.
All right. That's
Right.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was thinking.
Right. Now, what about when you achieve, because you love achieving, some of us love achieving, but we do it in a way that it's because we're passionate about something. We're passionate in our relationship. We love the person and we want to grow. We want to go to the next level in the relationship together. Would that change the relationship if you put love and connection, above significance? Would that change the relationship? Yes or no?
Yeah. And I feel like it pushes you harder sometimes. Like for me, it's like if I'm motivated to grow because I want to be a better partner, that motivates me more.
That's right. And are you doing it because you don't want them to leave you, or because you love what you have, you're passionate, and you want to,
because I care about them and I want to be better for them and I want to communicate better with them. And, it's like I want to be able to hear them better. I want to be more present to them. It's like things like I genuinely find what my partner says to be very interesting, and I'm like, oh, I want to cultivate the skills to listen to you so I can actually appreciate the things that you share with me.
Right. That's right. And do you share what's important to you as well, too, in a relationship?
Yeah.
You say, yeah?
Yeah.
Why are you saying it like that?
Yeah, because I can talk a lot about things that I find interesting.
Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go. Okay. So any guy that likes a talker, we got Bernadette here. Awesome. So some women, and I mentioned this before, a lot of with modern women, they tend to put work first, above relationships and above themselves, to try to be worth it. And anything a woman could do, or anything a man could do, a woman could do better. And they're trying to be like a man. And it's just like, if that's who you really are, sure, of course. But if you're just doing that because you're trying to be worth it, that's where the pain comes from you. And that's where the pain could happen in dating and relationships. Because unless the guy is gay, then he wouldn't like another man in the relationship. There wouldn't be polarity, right? So, and then some women try to, achieve so much to make their daddy proud, because that's how they got love from their daddy. Okay. So for some women, as I was saying before, if you find that you're always going out with feminine guys and you don't like feminine guys, or the relationship's not going as you want, it may be because you're you're too much in your masculine side. You're in your masculine side in a way that's not natural for you. And you could be feminine. Just the feminine is not honored in today's society, but you could be feminine. And that's where you have the best relationship with a secure guy who's in his masculine as well. It doesn't mean women can't be in their masculine as well, but it's where they live the most of the time. It doesn't mean a man can't be in their feminine. They could be in their feminine. It's where they live most of the time. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So woman, what happens in your relationship when you put work before your relationships and before yourself? How do you feel in the relationship? Anise, I can see you thinking.
Well, for me, I'm thinking more about work because it ties into certainty. And that's primarily because I am single and I'm not in a relationship. I do have to do it myself. Yes. So when I think about work, I think about it more along the lines of not being significant or being an achiever, but having the certainty that, my bills are paid. So I'm not so much thinking about do I achieve enough, as much as I am thinking, if I achieve enough, will I get a promotion so I can make more money, because I need that certainty. And if I didn't have that, like if I didn't have to think about that, you're right, I wouldn't be thinking about achieving, like if I was independently wealthy and I wouldn't have to think about achieving and working, and I've got to work this job and a second job. And so I don't have time to date, and I do, at the time when I did have a second job, I did notice that was always a turn off for someone to hear that I'm working that much. And why are you working that much? So, but you know, of course, I wasn't concerned because I needed it for certainty.
I totally get that, and especially if it's for single mothers or for whatever reason, we need a job. Totally get that. And I would say in that case, it's to live as much out of love and connection and passion in what you do. So you go as much into your essence as possible, even at your job. So it's love and connection even in your job as opposed to certainty. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I do make an effort to enjoy what I do so that it doesn't feel like drudgery.
Right.
Because I have to do it.
Right. That makes sense. Good. And then Julia wrote a comment. She said that women have to be in their masculine because men are not certain. Totally get that. Nothing's guaranteed. No relationship is guaranteed. No man is ever 100% certain. No woman's ever 100% certain. Nothing's guaranteed. And sometimes we do have to use different parts of ourselves. Sometimes women do have to go into their masculine. Totally get it. It's the reality. Totally get it. It's again. So someone said something. It's the question of where do you live the most. And I give you one example. I had a client that was in their masculine because of things from their childhood and so forth, and then they had to be in their masculine for their. They thought they had to be in their masculine for their job as well, and it was a type of sales. They were in sales, and as they got back to their feminine, they still had their masculine, but they got more back into their feminine. All of a sudden, they started doing better in their career. So sometimes we think we have to be masculine to do good in our career, or we have to be masculine to be certain. And I would actually say there's times when you do, and there's a lot of times when the feminine is actually very powerful and very strong. Not the boss babe bitch thing, but being your strong, your natural feminine. You women get so much by being in your feminine. You can influence so much. And true or false, when you're in your feminine and you feel secure and in your feminine, who has more power in the relationship, the man or the woman? Anise, you know.
Me.
The woman has more power. Because a guy will do anything for a woman who's in her natural stance. Now, Julia, for anybody that's wondering, nothing is 100%. I get it. But I've seen when a woman is, if she's naturally more feminine and she lives there more time, like more often than her masculine, she tends to do better in relationships with the right guys, obviously, and tends to do better in career as well when she uses that part of herself as well. And Kayla, I see you moving your head. Or you just, I see you nodding. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry?
I'm just nodding along.
Okay, got it. Julia, does that answer your question? She'll pop up in the chat in a second. Okay. So for all the achievers out there that they need to achieve to get love and connection, how does it feel when you're achieving and you're still not getting love and connection that you want? How much of a failure is it when you keep going, doing this, doing that, and you still don't get what you want? How do you feel that? It feels empty, right? How do you feel when you're burning the candle at both ends? How do you feel when you think people just love you because of what you achieve, not because of who you actually are? How empty does it feel when people like you but don't actually love you for you? And do you even still need to run this pattern anymore?
No.
Common power number 3, the individualist. I'm different and unique and nobody truly understands me. These people are significant by being so different and unique. The one whose taste is above everybody else's and who sees and feels deeper than the rest of the shallow world. And these are beautiful. These are beautiful souls who are able to see and feel deep emotions that some people don't let themselves feel. And I'm saying they're beautiful souls because the individualist is in my top 3. That's why I'm saying it. So the individualists, they're beautiful souls. The problem is when there's an exaggeration of this pattern, when everything about them has to be so different and so unique, like having tattoos all over their body in places that you don't even want to know, or piercings everywhere, or whatever it is, or just being so different. And that's not who they actually are. They're exaggerating. They've learned to be significant by being so different and unique. And they believe that gets them loving connection. And here's the thing, it might not even be from the outside. A lot of times the individualists, they're feeling it from the inside. They feel such hurt and disconnected from being so different from everybody else that feeling gives them, in some way, a connection to themselves. Similar to how when helpers eat food to feel a connection in their stomach, to feel connection to themselves. Individuals can feel pain and feel so different. And that's how they feel something in themselves. And so for women, how do you feel when a man is so distant in a relationship because he feels like nobody understands him? Good or bad? We got Kayla going. That's right. Dana, how do you feel when a guy is so distant and he's like, you don't understand me?
Like no communication. Like sometimes you feel like you can communicate in the way that to make it work.
That's right.
That's so true.
That's right. That's right. And Bernadette, how do you feel when a guy is so distant in a relationship because he's like, you don't understand me, I'm not going to talk?
Not good.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. Totally, for sure. And by show of hands, whose run is currently running or knows somebody who runs this pattern?
Oh, an individual.
The individualist, yeah. So again, do you actually get the loving connection that you deeply crave by doing this, running this pattern? Raja, you raised your hand.
No, it's just delayed reaction from the other question.
Oh, okay. Okay. And are you able to share the beauty of who you are with another human being? You're always running from what's right in front of you. How tiring is it to always have to be so different and unique when sometimes you just want to connect? Can you be different and unique in your own natural way and still find people to connect with, even if it's just 1 or 2 people? And maybe deep down, we're all different, but all the same. Okay. So now, what's one thing that you learned from this presentation that if you implement in your dating life, relationships, or in yourself, that you can implement in your dating life, relationships, and in yourself right now? What's one thing that you learned? You could write it down, you could say in your head, or you could just yell it out. What's one thing you learned from the presentation that you could implement in your dating life, relationships, and yourself starting now? Dana, looks like you want to say something.
Well, when you're talking about the helper, I think what I learned is how important it is to be able to say no and not feel guilty about it.
Yes, yay!
You can sort of say no or not right now.
Right. Okay, yes, give a round of applause. Yeah.
I think we all in position to say yes, and we all learn that saying can be not nice and polite. So people have a tendency to want to say yes all the time, but I think it's really important to learn how to say no or not right now, in a very assertive way. So it's in a polite but firm way.
That's right. And is that selfish?
You might feel selfish in the beginning, but later on when you practice saying no, it might feel less selfish.
That's right. Good. Awesome. Good. Now think of another thing that you learned from today's presentation that you could implement starting right now in your dating life, relationships, or in yourself right now. Who wants to share a second thing they learned or something else they learned?
Maybe not liking, maybe in understanding people and recognizing that people that are beyond another achievements. Like if you like somebody because they achieve something, what happens the next day when they don't achieve anymore? It's just about liking somebody for who they are as a person, not what they do or what they accomplished. And
Right. That's right. That's right. And Vivian, what's one thing that you learned today that you could implement starting today in your dating life, relationships, or in yourself?
Yeah, I would say establishing boundaries. Yeah, boundaries, especially with my parents. I would say that's what I would do.
Good, 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 good. And Razi, I think you were going to say something.
Sorry, the phone on? Sorry, is the sound on?
The sound is, but we can't see you.
Okay. Sorry, I'm eating. Yeah, no, the communication bit is, I've been struggling with that. So, there just the aspect of the whole communication bit on like honest communication kind of thing. That is what I'm taking away from this. Like, the different type of, yeah.
The communication. Right. Good, good, good. And then Bernadette, you wrote, interesting, this reminds me of Enneagram 2, 3, and 4, right?
Yeah, like I've read a little bit about the Enneagram, and like the first pattern of the helper seems like 2, and the achiever seems like 3, and then the misunderstood one seems like 4.
Yep. And you're absolutely right. That's where I took it from. Yeah, yeah. You're absolutely bang on. Right.
Yeah,
right.
it seems like I started thinking about it and I was like, these feel like heart centers because they're ways of like distortions of getting to love and connection, which is like heart centers,
Yes, yes, that's right. That's right. Good job. And Gina, what's something that you learned today that you could apply in your life, starting today, in your dating life, relationship, or in yourself?
Yeah, I guess looking at the red flags and not bypassing them because you just want somebody to connect with even halfway, so
Right. That's right. Good job, Gina. Good. And Kayla, if you like to share, by that face, maybe not. Would you like to share one thing that you learned today?
It's just like an oversimplification, but like you just got to be yourself. Like all the defenses that we're trying to put up and all the things that we're trying to do to get other people to like us are the thing that's kind of keeping us from truly connecting with others.
That's right. Good. And for everybody, you don't have to be yourself. You don't need to be yourself. You get to be yourself. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. And Anise, did you share? Did you share what
Did
you
I
learned
share?
today?
I didn't share what I learned from today. I think the part about a person who wants to be significant, and I think that a helper attracts people who want to be significant, and you just end up serving that person because you don't feel significant.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably something I carry in pretty much every relationship, that's they're significant. I'm not significant, and I'm here to do whatever they need me to do. And I think someone else said that sometimes that person who's significant, they're not always loud with it. Sometimes they can be quiet about it, but it's still the same thing. They still have that sense of they're the center, and that's why they connect with you, because you're acting like they're the center. And that's unhealthy.
Yes. Good. Good. And did today help you start breaking that pattern?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Good. Awesome. Good. And Julia, if you want to chat or write in chat, I'll even come back to you. What's one thing that you learned today that you could apply in your dating life, relationship, or in yourself starting today? I'll come back to you. I'll wait for your chats. And Bernadette, what's one thing that you learned today that you can absolutely implement and make a difference in your dating life, relationships, and in yourself starting today?
Be more in your feminine.
There you go.
Yes. Very, 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 very good. Very important. Good. And you'll feel a lot better as well. And Brennan, what's something that you learned today? that you can apply in your dating life, relationships, or in yourself starting today?
Actually, they pretty much already said it, but one of the things is that I've been actually working on is being more of a masculine.
Good. Did anybody hear that in his voice right there? there was the masculine at the end for sure. Good, awesome, good. And Psyche, what's something that you learned today that you could apply in your dating life, relationships, or in yourself starting today?
Well, I think when we first discussed the idea for the event, I said that I definitely have followed all three of those patterns throughout my life. And I definitely think that the core one has been feeling misunderstood. And I think that for myself, what I've been thinking about is, if you have all these wounds around feeling misunderstood, you're likely to kind of defend like other people have been saying, you're likely to kind of paradoxically defend yourself against vulnerability, because you're afraid of being misunderstood or rejected or something like that. So I think that one key lesson is just being able to sort of brave the vulnerability, because it opens up the possibility for healing, love, and connection.
Aw, very nice. And what's your top need, Psyche?
I would say my top need is likely love and connection.
Yay, she got
But
it.
I think I've gone through like all the different routes. Yeah. Certainty, I believe, is up there too, but I think it has always been love and connection on some level.
I believe so too. Who hears a difference in Psyche's voice right now?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right.
She sounds certain.
She sounds what?
She sounds
oh my
certain.
gosh, yeah.
I can't. I'm hearing a different word for the last word.
I said she sounds certain. Like earlier,
certain. Oh, certain. Okay.
Certainty was, but she didn't sound certain. But when
yes.
she says love and connection, she sounds certain now.
Yes, and does she sound more open and more vulnerable, but still strong?
Absolutely.
Yes. Does she sound more? Does she sound? No. Does she sound like she's more in her feminine right now in a strong way?
Yes, I think before it seemed like she was searching for the right answer, like she was hoping she was going to get it right, and this time it sounded like she just knew.
And right. And it sounds like she's natural now. She's being more herself, right? Yeah. Does that sound better? In a sense, not sound better. Do you feel better from that energy that you're getting from her now?
Yes, she sounds confident.
She sounds confident.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. Would confidence help you in work, relationships, and in yourself? Yes or no? Yell it out loud. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So you mean you could be yourself and do better? What's this? But Psyche, how do you feel is what's most important. How do you feel now? Psyche.
I think that this has been a healing event, and I feel good.
Wow.
And I'm running the Hidden Stone. So this is like I'm not even like an attendee.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, this has been great, Giovanni. Really.
You're welcome. But I'm not done yet, but you're welcome. And then Julia wrote yes, for her the same, to be more in her feminine. Awesome. That is like, I might not show it, but I'm getting a little bit emotional inside when I'm hearing that, because like that's just it's so painful to see when a woman's trying to be in her masculine and trying to be somebody she's not, when being herself is so beautiful and she could get so much and experience so much. So that's awesome, Julia. I think we went through everybody. We did, yeah, awesome. Getting emotional here. Oh my god. Okay, so now this is just a little teaser of what I do with clients. So if this has been healing for you, Psyche, imagine what a session or what working together would be like. But it's really about just breaking these patterns to get back to who you really are, so you could finally feel the self-love again that's natural inside of you, and have a better dating life, relationships, and be more connected in love with yourself first. So I'm available to do this presentation and other presentations for your group, company, or organization as well. Just come to me after this presentation or call me or email me, and I'll see how I could help you and give to you and your group and your organization. We're also talking about, with me and the Hidden Stone, with Brennan and Psyche, about doing more presentations, and you'll see it on Meetup. One could be about weight loss, especially in the new year. And we can maybe do a Q&A about relationships and dating as well. So it'll just be a question and answer session as well. So there's more coming to you for free. I also offer one-on-one dating, relationship, and life coaching packages. The first steps are a phone consultation, and then an in-person consultation, or if you live out of the area, a virtual consultation to see if we're a good fit to work together.
Where are you based?
Sorry, who said that? Razia?
Razia.
Toronto.
Oh, okay, okay.
Where are you?
I'm in Edmonton. I moved from Toronto a long time ago.
Okay, but you're in Edmonton right now?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Okay. So in that case, we would do a virtual consultation. Yeah. The best is in person. So if you're in Toronto, you have to come to my office. But if you're not in Toronto, we could definitely do it virtually online. So I typically do packages as opposed to one-off sessions. Packages is where you really figure out what's really happening, get deep, and actually get results. Or you have the highest chance of getting results for you. And some people go, how much does it cost? So the financial investment is unique to each person, and it's based on exactly what they're looking for. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments. It's based on what they're looking for, and we talk about that at step 2, which is the in-person or virtual consultation. Okay. What I can say is I don't work with everybody. I look for people who are ready, who are motivated, who are 10 out of 10 motivated, 10 out of 10 ready, and then we go from there. Now there are certain, typical fees, but if I feel like we're a good fit to work together, perfect fit to work together, if we both feel comfortable and confident with each other, I do my best to work within your budget. Okay, I can't make any promises, but I do my best to work within your budget because I want to make an impact in this world. So now, if you really learned about patterns and the first steps to breaking them, so you can live free just from this little time together, think right now of 2 of your friends or family members or people you work with who you also want them to feel secure in their relationships and themselves and do better in dating lives and relationships. You could write down or just picture in your head the first person that comes to your head. You could say, this Giovanni guy might be able to help you. And you could write down or picture in your head the second person that comes in your head. Do you think, you know what? I should definitely tell them to call Giovanni. And they could call me, we could have a phone consultation. And it's either, hey, let's move to the next step, or right now is not ready, but I just want to connect with you, find out what's going on, and we could always touch base in a month from now, 3 months from now. So just to connect with people and just learn about them first. So you can let them know, you can think, am I going to let them know either by texting them right after this presentation, or maybe calling them right after the presentation, or calling them first thing in the morning and saying, I went to this presentation, this Giovanni thing, presentation, I learned this, and this, I think you should give him a call. My number is on my website, which you can get through my Instagram or by Googling Inspire Yourself Life Coaching. And you can also see all my reviews. And make sure they tell me, you tell them to tell me, that they tell me who referred them. So if a niece, you refer somebody, make sure they say a niece referred me, so I know. And to get more information about breaking patterns, you could also pull out your phone right now. Go to Instagram and search at dating_love_relationship_coach. Really simple. You'll see a little avatar of me. You can follow me and to get free videos on how to feel secure in dating, relationships, and weight loss. And also message me there. So as the extra gift to everybody here today, message me on Instagram and I'll send you the Enneagram personality test that Bernadette was talking about. Just say, can I take the test? I'll send you a link. You take the test. You let me know your top 3. I'll write up a personalized report for you and I'll just email it back to you. Cool? So just message, I want to take the test. And if you love the test, think of 2 friends that you also want to give that gift to. Okay. Any questions about anything about the presentation or about my services? You can ask. Someone's talking. Okay. All your questions are answered about relationships?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That's a good thing. Okay. I think we're is that good, Brendan and Psyche?
Yeah, I'll say one thing really fast. I first of all thank you all for joining our event. Like we said at the beginning, you might have missed it, but we have other events that are dedicated to self-growth, self-improvement, love, etc. Brennan just dropped a link in the chat. It's thehiddenstone.org, and that is a link to our community on Discord. One thing that I was just thinking about, this is something that I've been kind of wanting to start for a while, but there wasn't seemingly a good time for it, is I've been wanting to start a women's group specifically focused around cultivating femininity in the Hidden Stone. So especially since there's a lot of women, I think it's mostly the women still present. That is something that I'm hoping that we'll get up and running in maybe the next couple of months, maybe month or so. Can't say much on it right now because I need to think more about how it's going to run. But if that's something you might be interested in, please go ahead and join our community. The events will also be listed on our meetup page. Brennan, any other thoughts?
You've pretty much covered everything like normal. Thank you very much.
Okay, awesome. And I also put I would love to stay in contact with all of you. You've been really fun today. So I'm going to put my Instagram in the chat, and then my website as well. Awesome. Okay, good. Thank you very much. And I'll see you all next time.